Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. Welcome to those of you who have been here before, and a big welcome to those of you who have come across to find out what it's all about. Thank you all very much for coming over to check out my channel, and to those of you who, like I say, have come back, thank you for coming back as well to see what's going to happen today in your reading, Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Sagittarius this reading is for. And if you don't know where those placements are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below, as there always is, for you to go and check out for yourself where those placements may be. And that light is already doing my head in, as it's already started to glare with just the tiniest of movements. But hey, let's carry on and see what happens. So reading today is a general reading for Sagittarius, so it's not going to resonate with all you Sagittarians out there. Hopefully it will have a message for all of you somewhere within it. It doesn't mean that the whole reading is going to be like 100% spot on, because not all readings always are or can be, or always resonate for everybody. So just be aware of that fact, Sagittarius. Also for cross-watchers who are out there watching this, just be aware that this could be your story that you're hearing here as well. So if you've tuned in to find out for the Sagittarian that you're interested in because you're in a relationship with them, you want to be in a relationship, or you have been in a relationship with them, just be aware that this could also be your story that's being told here. So Sagittarius, general read. We are starting off with this card here. Oh, before I forget as well, you may want to check out the other readings that I will be doing for your other placements. So your Sun is in Sagittarius, you may not know which degree it is, so you may want to check that out as well. But your Moon sign, your Venus sign, your Rising sign, and if you're a cusp, you're going to be either end of the Sagittarius. So you're either going to be moving out the Scorpio, which means that you're going to be at 0 degrees of Sagittarius and moving into the Sagittarian energy, or you're going to be the other end of the spectrum at 29 degrees and moving more into the Capricorn energy as well. My throat's gone a bit funny there, so I apologise for that. But this is the first card we have here. It's the Spirit Animal Oracle card of the Otter Spirit, which unfortunately has come out upside down. Interesting message upside down. When it's up the right way, it says you are never alone. So when it's up the right way, it can talk about being surrounded by lots of people, being given lots of support, being very aware of it. But when it's upside down, it's kind of saying that, are you just focusing all your attention on one person? Are you wanting to try and get everything that you need from just that one person? And are you missing the bigger picture of your friends out there who would like to be able to support you, but you may not be allowing them to do that, Sagittarius? Friends, family, workmates, people who are there for you, but you may not be aware of it because your focus of attention is just on this one individual, is kind of what the Otter Spirit in reverse is saying. So it's saying broaden your horizon here, broaden your not just your awareness, but broaden your, like, allow other people to help you out, to support you, to give you what you need, because not everything can come from just one person as well. That can be very, very intense for that one person, and also it can be very unfair as well to expect them to be able to fulfill all those needs. So the card at the very center of your reading today, the Page of Cups in reverse, is saying to me that there's a situation here, or you are feeling in this energy at this time, Sagittarius. This is the water energy, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces energy. And it's, because it's a page, it's very much about a young energy, an energy that's learning about itself. All the pages, they're young, they're immature, they're childlike. It can actually indicate a child, or it can indicate an aspect of your own personality, or a situation that you're dealing with, which is still in kind of early learning stages of. But it can also talk, because it's because it's cups, sorry, it can talk about the emotions here, because cups is all about the emotions. And so it could also have something to do with this otter spirit energy here as well, of relying on just one person, or wanting to give or receive all your love from just one person, or everything that you need, as I was saying, from just this one person. It can also talk about a time of coming out of like a sense of withdrawal, a sense of kind of a healing, an inner understanding, an inner knowing, getting to know a part of yourself maybe that you didn't know previously, or that hadn't been allowed to be a part of your own personality here, Sagittarius. It is the inner child card in some ways as well, the healing of an inner child, the Page of Cups. It's also wanting love, or becoming aware of the fact that you are needing love, that you can't do everything on your own. Again, the otter spirit energy could be talking about that as well, how you're trying to do it all for yourself. But the crossing energy of it is the Eight of Cups here. It can also be a situation that you're just learning about as well. Something that you may not have recognised, as I was saying, up to now. But it's crossed with the Eight of Cups, so it does talk about a situation from the past, something that you're having to walk away from, leave behind. Again, it's cups, so it can be an emotional situation. It can relate to family, it can relate to friends, it can relate to business, but it can relate to a situation in itself that has been difficult to leave or walk away from. There's an energy of attachment still here, even though you're wanting to move forward and to leave it behind, because it's your challenging energy. It's kind of saying that you need to move on here, Sagittarius. Something needs to be moved on from. It can also be emotions that are keeping you stuck in this energy as well, because it's in reverse. It's not allowing you to see things clearly, or as clearly as you would like to be able to see things. But it is saying that there's a situation, this kind of, all these cups here for me today are representing just a situation that needs to be put in the past. But what's in your head and what you're aware of at this time is the Hermit energy. And this card is saying there has been something that you have learnt a lot from. It's been difficult. It's not been an easy road. You took the difficult road. It's been an inner journey. It's been soul searching in many ways. But it's also been able to kind of bring in a maturity, or you're now able to see it in a more mature fashion. You've grown, you've learnt from it. That light there is kind of lighting his way, and he's crossing over this rickety old bridge, which is what kind of, well, it's not a rickety old bridge but as such, but it's a dangerous path. It feels like it's, you know, it's been a hard path. It's not been easy. It's not been straightforward. It's not just kind of been set out for you. There's been twists and turns and ups and downs, and it's all been a learning process. And that's what's in your head. So it's kind of, whatever this is about, you're kind of coming to the realization that you have grown from it. You have learnt a lot from this particular situation, Sagittarius. And you have two cards in the energy that's moving away from you. The 10, sorry, the 2, 2, I don't know why I want to call that card a 10. The 2 of Swords is saying that you have made a decision. A decision has been made. It's upright. And because it's got the 9 of Cups with it here as well, it feels as though you're reaching a place of, this is what you're wanting. This is what you are looking for. You are looking for your contentment. You're looking for your wish fulfillment. Maybe even coming to the realization of what that actually is for you, Sagittarius. Maybe up to now, maybe that's part of this learning process that you've gone through, is that it's all been a bit in the dark, not clear for you until now. But it does feel as though something has kind of illuminated that. And that's what you're hoping to do, a decision. It feels like a decision has been made. You're in the process of making that decision, of going for your happiness, going for your wish fulfillment, going for what makes you happy. Again, that could be many different things related to business, family situation. It could also be, even though this is a general read, it could also be a relationship. But underneath and in your subconscious, so what's at the root of this reading, if you like? Because this is the tree, not the tree of life. Sorry, this is the Celtic cross reading. So this is the under subconscious level of not being so aware of where the energies come from. You have the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is about harvesting. For me, the 7s are always a dilemma because you don't know what you're going to get. So there's a sense here of having to, like, she has to climb this ladder in order to gather all of this together. And it feels like this is where you've been. You've been in this place of kind of building all this, and now you're kind of wanting to gather this all up. Your rewards, in a way, for what you have achieved so far. It's time to bring the harvest in. And that's what you're kind of realizing on a deeper level. And it kind of goes for me with this 9 of Cups as well. It's kind of card of contentment. It's like bringing everything in that you deserve. Being aware that you do deserve it, that you can have it. It's there, waiting for you to choose it, to pick it, to take it, to harvest it, to claim it. And it feels again as though it's got something to do with this card here, this maturing, this realization, this understanding. And maybe it's also something to do with this Page of Cups energy of walking away from this energy, walking away from something that may have been immature, childish emotions, a situation where you responded in a kind of childish fashion maybe, and now you're having to leave that behind. You have matured though. It feels, Sagittarius, as though there has been a lot of, like I say, growing up happening in this reading. But here you are sitting here in the grass with the 4 of Cups coming in, and this is your cup here, literally. It's being offered to you here. but you're unsure. It is upright, so I think that there is an awareness of what's coming. But there is still this kind of, if you look at him sitting in this grass, he's looking at it and he's kind of saying to himself, shall I or shan't I? Do I or don't I? Again, it is this Page of Cups here as well, that he's carrying the same cup. So something is going to be offered, Sagittarius. Something, I feel something is going to be offered to you. Something that could, I feel, make you happy. But you're not sure. There is just this kind of holding back at the moment. Fours are a challenging energy, a difficult energy. So it's saying that it's probably not going to be something that you're going to have to take it slowly. You're going to have to be careful with it. Whatever it is that you're having to. And I feel as though there's a healing process involved with this as well. If you accept it. It doesn't have to be accepted. But you've got these 3 cups down here that are still standing. So it's kind of adding to that 3. And bringing it into more of a sense of balance. Is how it's feeling today. And in your hopes and your fears, Sagittarius, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So there is something that you're hoping is going to shift for you in the positive. You're hoping that when the Wheel of Fortune turns, when divine timing comes along, that you're going to be ready for it. You're going to be aware of it. It's going to be in your favour. But there is also a fear here as well, because it is in your hopes and your fears. And the fear, I feel, relates to possibly past experiences with this cup here. Past experiences have gone down that road before. Or fears that your timing's not going to be right, that, you know, will you even know when the timing is right? What is the right timing? How do you know it? And it's that sense of feeling, it's that sense of going with something. But the final card that we have here for you, Sagittarius, is saying that you are moving out of a difficult mindset or a difficult way of thinking, difficult, stormy. You're coming out of the storm. You're leaving that storminess behind. You're coming into calmer, more serene waters, and that's also to do with your thinking as well. That you're no longer kind of sabotaging or beating yourself up or feeling guilty or feeling in the wrong about things. It's like you're coming out of, it feels like blaming yourself over and over again for things that may not have gone right previously. But there is much more balance here as well, because these 6 swords are on either side of you here, and you're kind of in the middle in this balanced situation. There's a kind of sense of much more serenity, like an acceptance of whatever has happened in the past that you're moving on from now. And also the fact that you have learnt from it. Like it hasn't just been a waste of time or emotions, or that there has been purpose behind it all. So let's see what the confirmation cards want to say for you here, Sagittarius. Let's see why the Page of Cups and the Eight of Cups is here for Sagittarius, please. That is far too many, and I'm not taking all of them. Far too many. Page of Cups, Eight of Cups. Why are they here? Why are they at the heart of this Sagittarius reading? So you've got another 8 come out here. The Eight of Swords is saying that there has been this situation where you have been trapped, caught in your own way of thinking, your own belief, your own ideas, something that kind of kept you, for me, it kind of feels like going round and round and round in circles and getting nowhere fast, and kind of getting to the end of it and starting all over again. So it's just that cycle of constant negative thought, and it's like a spiral in some ways. Like once you start those thought patterns, they can spiral you down very, very quickly. So it has been, like I was saying, it has been, and it feels like it has been a difficult learning process that you've been going through here, Sagittarius. Again, too many. Cards are very lively. Very lively, but there's too many. I'm not taking them all. So the Hermit energy. Okay. So over the top of the Hermit energy, we have the High Priestess in reverse. So it feels like with the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is all about intuition, that inner wisdom, that inner knowing. It's very similar to the Hermit energy in some ways, because it's like going inside to find this. So it feels to me as though this was kind of, somebody wasn't listening to their intuition. They weren't taking any notice of that inner voice. And even if they heard it, they just kind of totally ignored it. Didn't see it as being relevant or of any value, or just no interest in finding out more about their own inner world, until the Hermit energy in a way kind of forced them, or Sagittarius, you decided at some point that you needed to go on this inner journey. And maybe it's because you kept hearing this inner voice calling. There was like something, because you got the High Priestess and the Hermit, they're both major arcana cards, so it's kind of a big energy. It's a big energy. So it's kind of saying that you can't really, and maybe that's also what this is about as well, you can't ignore this kind of energy when the time is right. And you can ignore it, but if you do ignore it, then it doesn't necessarily, you know, work in your favour. Which is what this card for me is saying here, in reverse. It didn't work in your favour, not listening, not taking any notice, not knowing that your inner instincts were right. There's also with the High Priestess, it is that sense of inner wisdom, like old wisdom. Intuitive understanding, instinct, feeling, knowing it on a really deep level. Knowing what you know, but not necessarily being able to express what you know or how or why you know it. You just know it, and that can be really quite frustrating when you can't express it, you can't give a reason, or people look at you as if you're completely bonkers because they don't understand it, they don't get it, they don't see it, they don't feel it. And that could also be a reason why you had to ignore it, or felt that you had to ignore it, Sagittarius, because maybe it was other people around you as well. But the Hermit energy, I feel, has kind of put you in a much stronger place of realizing that you have to listen to your own gut instinct, that your own gut instinct knows what's right for you. And it's telling you, when it's telling you something, it's doing it for a reason. Like I said, there has been a big growth. It does feel like a big growth here that has taken place. A levelling up. A levelling up energy is how I'm seeing this at the moment. A deeper understanding occurring within and without. Okay, insist. Right, so we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Hanged Man in reverse, and we also have the King of Cups. And this is for this energy here, this decision that you're in the process of making, or you have made recently, to find your own happiness, to allow yourself to have that happiness in your life. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which literally again is this cup that he's holding up here. So it's kind of saying that you may well have tried this in the past, but with it being in reverse, it's like all the water's just flowing out. It's not going anywhere. It wasn't actually being fulfilled, or it was being put in the wrong places. You weren't nurturing yourself as well. Maybe that's also what this Otter spirit in reverse is saying as well, that there was too much emphasis put on this one situation or this one person, and not being aware of your own needs in all of this as well. Because the Hangman is also saying that you had to let go and surrender your own will, your desire. You had to take a backward step. You had to step away from something. You had to leave the picture. Also with this 8 here, you're still in that process, and this is still the energy of what's moving away. So you still are in this process, but this is kind of what you're realizing as you've been hanging here, even though it is in reverse and he doesn't look like he's hanging. It may be very quick. It may be a sudden realization that you're coming to, because you have the King of Cups here as well. again, the water energies, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Hangman can also be very similar to the High Priestess. That's another major arcana card. Surrendering, letting go, but because it's in reverse, it's more a sense of finding yourself in that situation or being forced into that situation, not so much by choice, but by necessity in a way. If you see, he's got his hands behind his back, and he could quite easily, even when he's upright, he could quite easily get down from that tree, get himself off of that branch, but he chooses to hang there. It is about seeing things from a different angle. It's about, when it's in reverse, it's about maybe being stubborn still. With this High Priestess energy here as well, they're very similar kind of energies in a way, because it is about wanting to understand something on a deeper level, trying to see something from another perspective. Like if you stand on your head, literally, you see the world in a different way. It may only be for a short time, because you can't stand on your head for too long, but you see the world in a different way. Everything kind of shifts. And that's what this is saying, is that there's still this need here to allow this process to unfurl, like to give it time, to not rush it. And it does feel as though you're kind of learning about the need for the love of yourself here, Sagittarius. And that's what this King of Cups is saying as well. The energy of nurturing, taking care of, unconditional love, kindness, gentleness. That you need to allow yourself that luxury, maybe. It's not a luxury, because you know you should be doing it anyway in many ways, but you know we don't. It's a very human nature to forget to love ourselves before we try to love somebody or something else. And that's what's coming over for me today, Sagittarius. Is that it's about you here. The Hangman, the High Priestess, the Hermit. It is about your energy. It is about your happiness and your awakening to it. I think that's what the Hangman is saying as well. There's an awakening process happening here. So don't try and force the situation. Because underneath the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 9 and also the 4. So the 9 is about your self-esteem, what you deserve, what you believe you should have and shouldn't have. It's upright. So it's saying, so as I was saying here with the 7, it's about allowing yourself to reap that harvest, and knowing that you can have it, you do deserve it, there's no reason why you can't have it. And that this 9 here is actually really strongly kind of confirming that as well. that this is about your success, this is about your achievements, what you have put into something. You are allowed to feel good about it as well. You are allowed to feel proud. You are allowed to kind of pat yourself on the back and say, well done, look how far I have come. And realise as well that it has been you that has got you in there to where you are. This is your hard work. This is your personal journey. Others may have helped you on the way, but at the end of the day, nobody can really make you do what you don't want to do in that sense. You have to make that decision for yourself, inwardly as well. You have to make the decision to change your perspective on things in order to grow. And maybe that's also what this page here is saying, that there is this growth process going from the page to the king. That's quite a big leap, but it's one that you're in the process, or you have made. It feels like you're in the process of making that leap. Like the hangman is kind of connecting dots, kind of seeing the bigger picture of your life, like seeing it all kind of making sense, and it's all coming together, and this moment and that moment led to that and this and blah 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 and on, and it's a kind of realization and a awakening to something. And you also have the 4 here as well with the 9. So the 4 is also saying that there is something that you're holding on to very tightly. Something that you are wanting to keep in your life. Something that you're not necessarily wanting to change, because the 4 is usually depicted with somebody holding 4 coins, and they don't have room for any more. That's the thing with the 4. That's also another reason why it can be a challenging energy as well, because it's saying you have to have some kind of trust here in order to put what you have already down in order to gain more. Otherwise you're just going to stay in this kind of square energy, if you like, this kind of just going just staying. It just feels like it's a stagnant, stagnant energy in many ways. Even when it's upright, it's still an energy of not allowing something new into your life, not trusting, which is interesting because it's come out with a 9 as well. So the 9 is really kind of saying, you know, you do deserve more, you do deserve better, or you deserve to have what it is that you have created here, which is still kind of waiting to be harvested. And the 4 is kind of saying, to have more, in order to have more, you have to let go of where you are energetically, in your mind, or mentally, or even physically, or financially, that if you don't kind of share it or see it as an energy even, it can become very restricting as well. A 4 can be a very restricting energy. It stops more from accumulating. So over the 4 of Cups, you have the 3 of Cups. which of course are down here as well. So you are kind of focused on this 3 here. And the 3 for me is an energy of having initiated something, shall we say. Initiated. The 2 is an initiation. It's when two things come together, they initiate a process. So the 3 can be, sometimes it can be a third person coming into the equation, but it can also be the decision as to whether or not to continue with something, because it's the triangle energy here as well. So it can also be about whether or not you actually want to take up this cup here, whether you want to keep putting your time and your energy and your effort into something. It's like when 2 people come together to create a relationship, it's like this cup for me is the actual 3rd entity. The relationship itself becomes the 3rd energy or the 3rd party, in which case you have to decide, you have to make a decision as to whether you want to continue in the same manner, do you want to continue putting your energy, your effort into that? And that's what these 3 cups down here are saying here as well. There is this possible reconciliation with something as well. A reconciliation in the sense that you can go back to something and restart it, rebuild on it, continue with it. It doesn't necessarily have to have finished here. There can be, with this 4 of the 4th cup that is coming in here, there can be progress, is what I'm feeling here. There can be progress. Progress can be made. Again, it can be anything. It's a general reading, so it doesn't have to be about a relationship. It could be about a relationship. It can also be about business. But it's something that you have an emotional attachment to, because there's a lot of water, there's a lot of cup cards here. So it is something you have an emotional connection with. And that doesn't always have to be a person. You can have an emotional connection to a situation, a friend, a business, something you've put a lot of time and energy and effort into. So over the top of your Wheel of Fortune, you have the Page of Wands, which kind of is, I feel, similar to this energy today. It's that energy of, do I want to put my energy into this? Because it's a page, again, it's that young energy, it's that energy that's learning about itself. And in order to learn about itself, it has to experience things. It has to put itself out there into life, into the journey, into the experience of what it is that you're wanting to create here. Because it's wands, it's about creativity, it's about fire, it's about passion, it's about drive, action, but it's young, so it needs to be looked after. It's like something that needs to be taken care of in order for it to grow and mature. And it's in your hopes and your fears. So there is something that you're wanting to put your time and your energy and your creativity and your passion and your drive into. The page, or the wands, sorry, are the fire signs, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius energy. It's upright and it's with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's kind of saying to me there's something that you're waiting for, or you're hoping that things are going to turn in your favour, and that you will be able to, it feels like grow something here, like put your energy into something, continue something. This could also be yourself here as well. Again, Sagittarius, this is your energy. It could be your own, that you're putting this energy into yourself in order for you to achieve your heart's desire. Also, with the Page of Wands, you have to be aware that there can be twists and turns on the road, that nothing's ever straightforward with the Page because it is young. It can be unpredictable energy. If you think of a fire, small fire that can quickly kind of get out of hand, out of control. So it can, like I say, be unpredictable, and so you have to kind of be open as well with the page. With the pages, open to changes, open to things not necessarily going the way that you thought they were going to go. Which could be what this 4 down here is saying as well. You can't hold, like, you can't be restricting yourself here. It's not a time to stop the flow. And the card that we have here with your 6 of Swords as your outcome card, your outcome energy, is the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, not the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know why I said the Page. It's the Knight of Pentacles. The energy of slow improvement, I always see this card as. Something that is slowly taking its time, looking after itself. It's the energy of being quite independent. Or it can also be the energy of, it's like he's got his eye on that pentacle and he's very, very aware of its value. He's looking at it and he's saying, you know, what can I do with it? Where can I put this pentacle that's going to be for my advantage? So it could be about wanting to give your pentacle to another situation, person, with this creative drive here as well, something that you want to build for your future. Knight of Pentacles is all the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. Very dependable, very trustworthy, loyal energy. It's like you give them a message, you know that it will be received. You know you can depend on these people, you can ask them for their help. This could be somebody who's coming into your life, Sagittarius, who's very much like this, who wants to help you out, who wants to give you this pentacle in order to grow something else with you, because you are kind of moving towards that energy as well. If you see these 2 cards, it's where she's kind of heading. She doesn't necessarily have to be a she. It's not gender based. It's just the energy. So it could be that you are moving towards something that's going to be a lot more stable, secure, grounded, It's a nice energy. It's a strong energy. But it can also be an energy of you just kind of wanting to do things for yourself as well. I always find with the Knight of Pentacles can be very, very self-dependent. Very independent. Very kind of like, I want to do this for myself. I want to experience this for myself. I want to learn how to do this for myself. Or it could be, as I was saying, that, you know, you've been in that place of being kind of on your own in this kind of isolated energy of learning and growth. And now you're coming out of that energy here with the Six of Swords down here. Coming out of that energy, moving away and moving into something much more stable and a sense of contentment as well. So let's see what the Moonology cards would like to say to you here. And also going back to the Otter energy as well, of you kind of taking your focus away from just one thing and becoming much more kind of community, friendship orientated, kind of involving more people in your life, which at this time I know is not easy. And we're kind of being told not to do that. So you have the full moon in Libra, Libra being 7th house energy, which is all about one-to-one relationships. It's opposite the Mars energy, which is all about the self, as it's the first sign. It's very much about the self, Mars, Aries. But Libra is ruled by Venus. It's about love, and it's about love for something or somebody else. But it says a win-win outcome is forecast. So whatever it is that you have planned here, Sagittarius, which could also be this page energy as well. Planning, thinking, wondering, creative endeavours. This Libra energy is saying that it's good. It's a win-win outcome. You're heading in the right direction. And I feel as though it has got something to do with Otter spirit as well, kind of taking your focus off of that singular energy, which maybe has been very intense as well, with the Two of Swords here as well. It may have been a very intense kind of like energy. You've been pointing all of your attention at whatever this is down here, where these two swords are crossing. It may have been very, very intense. Okay, so let's see what the Namaste cards would like to say to finish the reading. I think this one came out the other day. It says blessings from your soul. And yeah, I'm sure this card came out the other day. It says you are a radiant being with many unique talents. Look with eyes of love and you will see this. And kind of the 9 here, as well as all of this that I was talking about. A new perspective of love on yourself, and this going from the Page of Cups to the King of Cups. And you will see this. Feel the creative power within you and the blessings pouring in as the healing light of your soul flows into every part of you. That's a very beautiful card. For those of you who might want to screenshot it. You know that I'm not just making it up. So Sagittarius, I'm going to leave your reading there. The light is doing my head in again, so I'm just going to quickly move it. So that's better. And just say thank you very much if you have liked my videos. Please could you like my videos? If you've got to the end of my video, please could you thumbs it up for me, because it does help to get it out into the bigger YouTube world where more people can get to see my messages, hear my messages, hopefully find some help in my messages as well, because that's really what I'm doing them for. And I hope this has also been of some help for you, Sagittarius. I will be putting the Sagittarius love read out after this as well. And also, could you please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, as that would really help me to grow my channel, which is what I'm really trying to do at this time as well. And to those of you who have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, and I also appreciate the comments that you leave as well. And if you would like to leave me a comment on my video and let me know how it's affecting you, or whether it has resonated with you at all, then that would be really, really nice as well. Just to get some feedback really helps, rather than just sitting here and kind of like just talking to myself, which is basically what I'm doing. But it is really nice to just know that there are people out there who get something from it, and it just makes it all worthwhile. So please also do that, and share my videos with anybody who you think may benefit from them. And until next time, Sagittarius, I'm going to say please take really good care of yourself, and also take really good care of anybody else around you who you can at this time. And hopefully I will see you again soon.